This is Workplace Mobbing, Part 9. And the title for this series in Workplace Mobbing would be The Profile of the Perpetrator. So, what is your typical perpetrator? The typical perpetrator is very envious. They know what they lack. They're ultra sensitive. They tend to ruminate about how they do not measure up. And then when they see individuals who have the things that they want, they get very angry inside and they develop a hatred. And the thing is that they don't even have to know the individual. They don't have to have family ties with the individual, but they end up hating them for whatever reason. They could have cluster B, personality, meaning that they could be a sociopath, they could be a psychopath, they could have narcissistic personality disorder or a personality disorder of some kind. They could have any and all of those. However, what they have is not of our concern, right? I'm not a medical practitioner to diagnose, and they don't pay me enough to try and figure out what they are. As for the motives are they either the motive as to why they abuse you and target you is because you are the opposite of what they are. You have integrity. You have strength. You have patience. You are competent at what you do. You look good. People like you. You have a natural leadership abilities. You have an aura of confidence about you. So rather than work on themselves, they would much rather try to steal your image and put it onto them, and then take what they know of themselves and put it onto you. It's like the invasion of the body snatchers, right? So what they do is they'll go and they will gossip. They'll spread malicious gossip. But they will take the perpetrator will take their own qualities, but put your name to their qualities, right? So, for instance, they will probably say things like, oh, she must have mental health. Well, the perpetrator has mental health, not you as the targeted individual. You don't even know them. They might say, oh, so-and-so is very rude. There's no evidence of this, but the perpetrator can only talk about themselves, right? So yeah, I mean, it consists of things like that. I know that I've been listening to other YouTube's videos where they do a description of those who are victimized and terrorized by the perpetrator. They'd like to say that the ones that are being victimized and terrorized, that they don't put up boundaries, that they're not, that they tend to be weak and easy prey, and that's just not true. That is just not true. If you really want to know how it works, just watch old episodes of Survivor. If you've noticed a pattern in old episodes of Survivor, you will know that they will go after the strongest ones first to weed them out. Because the ones that they can control, they keep. The ones that they cannot control, they push out. And that's exactly how it is in the workplace when you're dealing with pathological creatures like this. They go after the strong ones. They go after the competent ones. They go after the ones with integrity. So They do this whole thing, and you see, this is the thing that's really interesting, and one I could never understand, and I know that many targeted individuals had this question too. How is it that the perpetrator can say all these lies and nobody comes to you, the targeted individual, to confirm it? How come no one ever comes to you to confirm? I know I've had that question. Like, how is it, like, does 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 logic get suspended? And maybe someone can answer this for me. Does logic get suspended when the perpetrator is speeding lies to other people about the targeted individual? Does no one ever stop to think, wait a second, the perpetrator is not related to the target individual. The perpetrator doesn't know anything about the targeted individual. Has anyone ever stopped to think maybe the perpetrator is talking about themselves and using the name of the targeted individual to really speak about themselves? I mean, how are others who choose to join the perpetrators, how do they seem to miss this? I thought people were smarter than this. The perpetrators who joined in comprised of two envious, insecure females who felt it was upon themselves to target me because one of them felt that I'm vying for a supervisor position. Now, I've never had a discussion with this individual about ever wanting a supervisory position. And I've already been a supervisor myself, so I mean it's neither here nor there to me as to whether or not I would obtain one. But at no time have I ever had a discussion with this person. This person just stated that and then continued with the lies. Right? They would say, "Oh, so and so, they're just too much." No one's that's what the perpetrator would say. And the strange thing is, I could never understand when that person would do that. Soon as like less than 5 minutes coming in, "Oh, so and so is just unbearable. So and so has just got to go." This is how they do this. And then they'll turn around and I would wonder, has anyone ever stopped and wondered if this person's saying this, when did the targeted individual and the perp ever speak? Because I never really spoke to the perpetrators. I just kept to myself at work because I don't want to get engaged in gossip, and I'm doing what I need to do to get through the day, which is my work, which I'm supposed to do. But no, those who wish to join the perpetrator, and there are many, it's contrary to what's believed that, others will eventually see the errors of the perpetrator. That's not true. More people tend to join the perpetrator, and they're willing to take on the lies. And you'll find that often many of those people don't even know you. Many of those people have never worked with you. And the most interaction you've ever had with them was a greeting to say hello, good morning, and goodbye. The perpetrator is very manipulative. They will set you up. So they tend to set you up by crafting their discussion. So that if you answer it in certain ways, then they can go back and claim, "Oh, see, I told you that this person's like this." Or, oh, like they will take regular everyday interaction and they'll spin it as if you are the devil himself. That's what they do. Uh, let's see. They will charm managers. They will charm them. They will often look up information on other people. That's what they'll do. They often do that. They often, they do a lot of lying. They're pathological liars, and they're not remorseful. They're defective. They are not remorseful in the least. They actually get an arousal out of doing this to you. They actually get an arousal out of doing this to you. And if they had a conscience, which they don't, if they had a conscience, they would know not to start. But they don't have a conscience. They literally eat, sleep, breathe, finding ways to abuse and getting other people to abuse you. So they like to create drama. They like to create confusion. They weaponize anything, any regular interaction. Even if it was a look, they will weaponize it. Because these people, in my opinion, and by observation, what I've seen, are very evil. They are very evil. So that is my take on a profile of the perpetrator, who is typically the ringleader or a ringleader duo that begins the makings of a mobbing in the workplace against a target.